Welcome back to Spring Into Math 6. This is Mr. Stein, and today we're going to talk about surface area of a pyramid. Okay, so a pyramid has sides that are triangular, that have triangular faces and a base. The base can be any shape. So you can see here in these three examples, we have a square base, a rectangular base, and a triangular base. So keep that in mind, the base makes a difference. Surface area is the sum of all of the areas of the faces in a solid figure. So imagine you could wrap a pyramid or cone in wrapping paper like a present. The amount of wrapping paper needed to cover the figure represents the surface area. To find the surface area, we must be able to calculate the area of each face and then add these areas together. One way to find the surface area of a three-dimensional figure is using a net. A net is a two-dimensional diagram of a three-dimensional figure. Okay, so imagine you could unfold a pyramid so that it is completely flat. It might look something like this. So this would be a net of a square pyramid. Okay, with a net, we can see each face of the pyramid more clearly. So to find the surface area, we need to calculate the area of each face in the net, the sides, and the base. So the side faces of a pyramid are always triangles. So we use the area formula for triangles to calculate their area. So we have area equals 1/2 base times height. All right, so the area of the base depends on what shape it is. So remember, pyramids can have bases in the shape of a triangle, a square, or a rectangle, or really any other polygon for that matter. So we use whichever area formula is appropriate for that shape. Okay, so here are some common formulas to find area. So we have a rectangle, which is area equals length times width. We have a square, which is just side squared, which is really length times width, but the sides are all the same, so it's side squared, s squared. And then we have a triangle, which is area equals 1/2 base times height. Okay, so take a look at the pyramid below. Which formula should we use to find the area of the base? So think about what shape it is. Okay, so the base of the pyramid is a square with sides of 6 centimeters. So we should use the area formula for the square, which is area equals side squared. So we can find the area of the base. So we have the formula of a square, which is area equals side squared. So we're going to plug in our 6. So we have A equals 6 squared. So then 6 squared is 36. So we have A equals 36 centimeters squared. Next, we need to find the area of one of the triangles. There are 4 triangles, but we can work by finding the area of one of the triangles. So we use the formula area equals 1/2 base times height. So the base width is 6 centimeters, and the height of the side is 4 centimeters. Okay, so we're going to plug it in. So we have area equals 1/2 6 times 4. So then we have 2 ways to do it. We have either area equals 1/2 24, which is 6 times 4, or you can cut one of those numbers in half. So you can cut the 6 and make it a 3, so then it's just area equals 3 times 4. Either way you like to do it is fine. It's going to come out the same as 12, so area equals 12 centimeters squared. So since there are 4 triangles, we can multiply this area by 4 and add the area of the square. So then we have surface area is going to be equal to 4 times 12 plus 36. Well, 4 times 12 is 48, and 48 plus 36 is 84. So the surface area of that pyramid is 84 centimeters squared. Nets let us see each face of a pyramid so that we can calculate its area. However, we have to use a formula to represent the faces as we find their area. So the formula is like a shortcut because we can put the measurements in for the appropriate variable in the formula and solve for surface area. So here's the formula for finding the surface area of a pyramid. So we have surface area is equal to 1/2 perimeter times slant height plus base, plus b. Okay, so the first part of the formula, 1/2 perimeter times slant height, is a quick way of finding the area of all of the triangle sides of the pyramid at once. Okay, so remember the area formula for a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So in the formula, B stands for the base. So the perimeter of the pyramid's bottom face represents all the bases of the triangle faces at once because it's their sum. So the height of each triangle is always the same, so we can just call this the slant height of the pyramid. Okay, so therefore, 1/2 pyramid times slant height is really the same as 1/2 base times height. The b in the formula represents the base's area. So remember, pyramids can have bases of different shapes. So the area formula we use to find the b varies. All right, so we find the base's area first and then put it into the formula in place of b. So let's give it a try. So what is the surface area of the pyramid? So you can see here our pyramid. We have 8, and then we have a 3 as our slant height. Okay? The 4 sides of the base are all 8 inches. So the perimeter, of the base is 8 times 4, which is 32. We also need to use the same area formula for squares to find the base. So then we have base equals side squared. So the side was 8, and if you square it, you get 64. So far we have the perimeter, which is 32, and the area, which is 64 inches squared. All right, now we can put this information into the formula and solve for surface area. All right, so surface area equals 1/2 perimeter times slant height plus b. So let's just plug and play. So we have surface area equals 1/2, the perimeter was 32, times 3 plus 64. So that's our base. So our slant height was 3 and our base was 64. Remember, it's the area of the base. All right, so now we kind of solve and go. So we have 1/2 32 is 16, and then we have 16 times 3 plus 64. 16 times 3 is 48. 48 plus 64 is 112 inches squared. All right, let's try another one. So we're going to find the surface area of this figure. All right, so think about it. We have 16, and we have a slant height of 13 and 86/100ths. All right, so first of all, what kind of pyramid is this? It is a triangular pyramid because its base is a triangle. So that means we're going to use the area formula for triangles to find the b. So the base's sides are all the same length. So we can calculate the perimeter by multiplying 16 times 3, which is 48. So now let's solve for the base. So remember, we're going to use our area formula for triangles because it was a triangular pyramid. So we have 1/2 base times height. So we have 1/2 16, which is the base, times the height, which is 13.86. So then basically we're going to half 16 because that's a lot easier to half than the other one, which is a decimal. So half of 16 is 8. So we have 8 times 13.86, which gives us a base of 110.88 centimeters squared. All right, so now we're ready to put all that information into our formula. So let's see what happens. So remember, our formula for surface area is 1/2 perimeter times slant height plus the base. So we have 1/2 our perimeter, which is 48, times 6, which is our slant height, plus 110.88, which was our base. So then we half 48, which gives us 24. 24 times 6 plus 110.88, so 24 times 6 is 144. Then if you add 144 plus 110 and 88/100ths, you would get 254 and 88/100th centimeter squared. I know it's kind of a mouthful. All right, so a square pyramid with sides of 6 centimeters, a slant height of 5. So we're going to now, instead of seeing it, we're going to just use numbers, in a sentence. So we have surface area is equal to 1/2 the perimeter times the slant height plus b. So our formula is the same to figure out the surface area. All right, so let's figure out the perimeter. Since it's a square pyramid, we know there's 4 sides. So we're going to take our side length of 6 and multiply that by 4, which is going to give us a perimeter of 24. Then we got to figure out our base. Since it's a square pyramid again, we're going to use our formula for area of a square. So we're just doing 6 times 6, side squared, which is 36, and then we plug them in. So we have 1/2 the perimeter, which was 24, times 5 plus 36. So 1/2 24 is 12 times 5 plus 36. So then if you think 12 times 5 is 60, and then 60 plus 36 is 96. And then we go back to our measurement, which is centimeters, so 96 centimeters squared. All right, let's do one more. A rectangular pyramid with a length of 6 inches, a width of 4 inches, and a slant height of 3 inches. Lots of information. All right, so our formula for surface area is going to stay the same. So let's think about it. So we have our perimeter. So we have a rectangular pyramid with a length of 6 and a width of 4. So now, for this one, we're not just going to be able to multiply it. We're going to have to think, well, it's 6 plus 6 and 4 plus 4 because we have a rectangle. So we have 6 plus 6 and 4 plus 4 gives us 20. And then we have, if you think about it, we got to find the base. So then we're just taking length times width because it's a rectangle. So we have 6 times 4, which is 24. So now we kind of plug it in. We have 1/2 20 times 3, which is our slant height, plus 24, which is the area, which is the base, which is the area of the bottom. So then 1/2 20 is 10, and now we got kind of easy numbers. 10 times 3 is 30, and 30 plus 24 is 54, so we have 54 inches squared. All right, so really take your time while you're practicing these, and I'll see you next time.